On average, I tell my clients that they can expect to spend anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000 on a mediation. Now, that's if they have children, because certainly there's so much more to talk about if you have young children, and that will obviously increase the cost overall. So maybe you can expect to spend a little bit less if you are a couple with no children or adult children. For a mediation, we bill hourly and we take a retainer fee up front. That is the best way to do it because every case is so very different. And then you are only being billed for the work that is actually done on your file. On average, it will take a couple with children, I would say around $10,000 to complete their mediation start to finish. The costs could increase, certainly, if there are certain retirement benefits that require an expert to come in and value them or to prepare the quadro, the special court order that is required to divide those assets. So it really, really does vary, but on average, you can expect to spend about $10,000. In comparison to litigation, this is a tremendous cost savings. Your average litigation can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And by doing it in a mediation, you really keep the costs within your control. Mediation can still be an expensive process, but I tell my clients that it is a better use of their money. You are billed hourly for all the work that is done, but in mediation, you have control over what's done during those hours. There is no waste. There is never a time that you are being billed for something that is not actual work being done on your file. So for example, if we have a 2-hour mediation session, you are billed hourly for the 2 hours of work that is actually spent on solutions and a thorough assessment of what is going on for your family, as opposed to litigation, where you could spend more than 2 hours in court, be paying your attorney for that time that morning, even though nothing is actually being done for your case. Oftentimes, attorneys are told to be there with their clients at 9:30 in the morning. You both show up with your attorneys that you are paying hourly. And there are 20 other cases on the judge's calendar. And so you sit there for hours and wait for your case to be called. And then when it is called, your attorney will very often go into chambers without you to speak with the judge or the judge's law secretary. They come out 10 minutes later and tell you what has happened. Oftentimes, you're not even part of the process. And so in mediation, that would never happen. You would always be involved in the process every step of the way, actively involved in your case, and time well spent. In a litigation, and certainly if there is trial preparation, the costs can snowball out of control very fast. There could be hours of preparation going into a hearing, into a deposition, into a trial, that then very often the case ends up settling anyway. And so you've spent hours worth of attorney work to really no end when you would have settled it anyway. So in mediation, you can be confident that time is spent discussing the specific details of your case and working towards solutions that make sense for your family. In litigation, both parties have to have their own attorneys from the start. So right there, that's 2 retainer fees that have to be paid at the beginning, as opposed to in mediation when you're hiring one professional to work with both of you for the hourly rate that you are being charged. Now, in a mediation, you may want to bring on an independent consulting attorney to work with on the side, and that is recommended, but that is a limited job for that attorney. They are working a specific number of hours on your case and at your direction. So you can work with that consulting attorney as much or as little as you decide you want to. If you cannot afford a lawyer or are working within a specific budget, mediation can be a perfect solution for you. We can know exactly what we have to work with and try to tailor our time together so that it is specific to get everything done within a prescribed period of time. Mediation in general will give you much more control over how your hard-earned dollars are being spent. Mediation can be a much more cost-effective way of handling your divorce. You have control over the amount of hours that are being spent, and you can manage your time to try to work within a budget and to have a goal of getting done within a certain prescribed amount being spent. Mediation overall is a better use of your money because there is no waste. If you're being billed hours for legal work, you can be assured that it is work that is actually being done on your case and working toward a solution.